and some quick little stories. This is, yeah.
I think one of the points Owen is, exemplifying is, the strength of food to culture. And, every single one of us, food brings out such dominant, strong memories. Like even the smell of a certain food cooking triggers like childhood memories of, family members or events or something. It's a very powerful, primal kind of, deep-seated connection that every single one of us has. Some special dish that's associated with a holiday, some sentimental thing that my grandmother always made. Food and culture and our own, memories are all deeply connected.
Yeah, thank you. A good example is the Syrian, I always say it wrong, but molochia, or jute, or Egyptian spinach. Who's heard of that plant before? Also called okra leaf. Okay, a few of you. I grew it this year from their seed, and through social media met all these Egyptians and various Middle Easterners who were like, I've never seen that fresh in this continent. And we're like, can you bring it to me in Maryland? Or, okay, I'm going there next month. And I did, and it just is so powerful to taste that flavor again once you've been, for whatever reason, separated from your homeland. And for me, growing up in Connecticut, several generations removed from my immigrant ancestors, that means rediscovering or relearning what those foods were. We didn't care, my parents, their parents didn't carry on those foods necessarily. And so, for example, I'm mostly Irish and Italian, and a little Jewish. I'm still trying to figure out the Jewish crops. But the lumper potato is the famous potato from the Great Famine in Ireland. Okay, I'm not going to tell that story too deep, but usually I talk about colonialism versus late blight and the ways that they interacted to cause the famine. This is an interesting one because it ties me both to Connecticut and to my Italian heritage. The borlato bean. Originally this bean is from South America. But it was brought to Italy centuries ago. It was domesticated further, and this is an Italian type. I recently been in contact with my friend Rachel Sayet from Mohegan, and her mother, Melissa Tantaquidgeon, who's the Mohegan medicine woman. And they sent me, I gave them a calendar. I make a calendar every year, and I had a lima bean picture from the Potawatomi people, and talked about how the various native tribes make, succotash. And she said, hey, our family makes that too. Mohegans make succotash too. And here's a recipe from my great uncle, Harold Tantaquidgeon. And his recipe had this bean in it, this Italian bean. And, what's that?
South American Italian.
South American Italian bean that's then a Mohegan bean, also later. Because we kind of make these varieties our own as we adopt them into our garden and into our kitchen. And so then I started growing it to connect both to the Mohegan story and the Italian story, and also the South American story. And Melissa commented on my Facebook, said, oh yeah, we used to buy that from the Italian farmer down the road. So it ties back in. So I guess my point is that, yes, like those foods can bring up these deep memories, and they're so powerful of our homelands. And we create the story as we go, too. So a lot of people are like, I don't have a culture. I've been here so long, I'm not connected to my food culture or my culture. And I'm like, well, start remaking it. It's so important for our food to have a story. And that's kind of an essential piece of what we do.